Hello. Thank you for joining. Let's just wait for a couple of more minutes. As usual, I'm not using a headphone this time. I hope I'm audible. Hello, Nivedita. I hope I'm audible, right? I'm not using a headphone, an earphone rather. Can anyone confirm whether I'm audible or not? Congratulations. Thank you. But for what? Nivedita, can you confirm if I'm audible or not? Because I'm not using an earphone. Thank you so much. So I'm going to quickly start with today's topic, and it is very close to my heart because often people confuse between self-love and narcissism. So that's where this topic comes into picture, the narcissism and gaslighting. Okay, so I just hope I'm audible. You are. Oh, thank you, Shabazz. I hope you're doing well. So, narcissism and gaslighting. Now, whilst a lot of you have heard about narcissism, but gaslighting is a new term, probably considerably a new term for a lot of people. So, we'll talk about both these terms, and I'll try to wrap up or provide you as much as information within half an hour because it's a very broad topic. Now I'll start with a small, story of a Greek god whose name was, Narcissus. So this Greek god was you know, envisaged. He was so enamored with his own beauty that he used to keep adoring himself by looking at his visage on in the pool of water. So he used to adore his own image. He was um, kind of breathtakingly beautiful according to him. Now, because of this, he was so engrossed with self. He was contemptuous of people who loved him, and he kind of banished those people who did not love him, or who and he also made it a point that those people who loved him, sometimes he took them to the point of they had to give their lives to prove their love and devotion towards him. So this is the extent of self-love or extreme self-love that we are talking about, and that is why it is from his name, the name of god, that is Narcissus, the term narcissism comes into being, right? So it is excessive self-love. Now self-love is great, but excessive self-love becomes a problem. I'll just change the position of the phone a little bit because I'm not able to see the comments. All right. So people with narcissism or narcissist personality disorder, they display traits which are similar to Greek god Narcissus. Now when you tell this same thing to a narcissist, he will be extremely happy, because what he will say is, oh, she or he is actually comparing me with God. They will only take that part which fits with their image of themselves. They will actually kind of ignore the rest of the thing. Hello, thank you for joining. So narcissism is excessive self involvement that causes a person to ignore the need of others. So, self love is great, but narcissism is something like you are only engrossed with yourself and you completely ignore the need of others around you. Okay, almost everyone, now, this is a fact that almost each one of us engage in narcissist behavior. Okay, people, but then there are what actually differentiates between us or a person with narcissist personality disorder. So yes, narcissism is actually a personality disorder, and it comes under type B personality disorder. Okay, so people with narcissist personality disorder, or commonly known as NPD, they have personalities characterized by intense self involvement and chronic disregard of others. People with narcissism are excessively fixated on their own needs, and while simultaneously obsessed with gaining approval from others. And if you give them approval, you are in their good books. If you don't give them approval, then they will start actually blaming you for a lot of other stuff. We'll go into all that aspects. And this narcissist people, their one of the major trait is their relationships are extremely superficial. They don't have meaningful relationship. It is only superficial from and it is only associated with what benefits they are deriving from those relationships, and they are designed as a source of admiration rather than a channel of mutual intimacy. So it is more of a devotion kind of a relationship. So the partner continuously have to adore or shower admiration about the person, about different aspects and everything. There is no mutual intimacy. They will also not tell you that how good you are. They are only basking in their own glory. So they may engage in narcissistic abuse, either using someone as a tool to feed their ego or neglecting the need of someone who depends on them. This is one major characteristic of a narcissist person. In fact, all the narcissist person that I have met till now in this life, they all of them display this character, that they use other people to feed their ego, or they will completely neglect the other person who actually depends on them for their emotional need or any other needs. Okay, so please feel free to ask your questions, because this was a requested topic again, narcissism. And what are the traits of a narcissist? The first trait, can anybody tell me what do you think will be one of the trait of a narcissist person? Because I'm sure there are a couple of people whom I can see they are here who have actually requested this topic. So what do you think is one of the or the traits of a narcissist? How do you identify a narcissist? What are the traits? Can anybody tell? It is okay if you're wrong, that's okay. Let me see if you know, or if you know how to identify a narcissist person. Anyone? Self-praise, I'm right, you're wrong. Yes. What else? Anybody? Jayashree? I see Orko as well. Anybody who would like to answer this? What trait do you think a narcissist would have? If somebody is only engaged in self-praise, I am right, you are wrong, then what the person is missing? That is one of the major traits of that person. Unable to take criticism, excellent. That is one major trait of the narcissist. Unable to take any kind of criticism, and most importantly, they will lack empathy. They are manipulative. They use projection as a defense mechanism. Projection as in, you tell them this is your problem, They will actually show and prove it to you that it is not their problem, it is your problem. And they will turn the table towards you or put the ball in your court in a very swift manner, so that you start you start actually questioning your image, your values, and yourself. That is one major characteristic of narcissists. They start making you doubt your own existence, your own values, your own principles. That is what narcissists would do. They are emotionally cold, they are insensitive, they never take responsibility, they try to control people, and as Nivedita said, they have this sense of grandiose around them, like, self praise, I, me, and myself. And most importantly, these people have the highest chance of going for infidelity. They are not stable in their relationships, because the moment they know that they have got their share of admiration from this person, they will move to somebody else who is providing them with more admiration. That is one another characteristic of a narcissist. All right. Now the question comes is, what is then gaslighting? Because gaslighting is also one of the trait of a narcissist. Now, gaslighting itself, people can do gaslighting and might not be a narcissist also. So gaslighting exists as an individual trait as well, but gaslighting is definitely one of the trait of narcissist. A narcissist will have a gaslighting as a tendency, but not all gaslighters would have narcissism in them. Okay. So what is gaslighting? So, gaslighting, if I'm talking from a historical perspective, this term has been taken from a play called Gaslight that was staged in the year 1930s. And here there is this husband who has this attempt, who was making this attempt to make his wife, to drive his wife crazy. And that keeps, and what he used to do that is, he kept turning down the gas powered light, so made it dim. And every time the wife complained that, why the lights are dim, then the husband used to say, no, they are not dim, they are not dim, they are the same. You it is in your mind. So like this, if it is happening for a period of 2 months, 3 months, the person who is saying that, the wife, she started thinking that she is going mad, because somehow she's seeing things which the other people are not seeing. So that is where gaslighting comes into picture. So the trait of a gaslighter, or what is gaslighting is, they will make you doubt. It's like a psychological abuse. You have to understand, this is not a funny thing. Gaslighting is an abuse. Okay, a lot of people engage in gaslighting without being aware of without being aware of this entire thing that they are engaging in gaslighting. But gaslighting is a form of psychological abuse, where a person or group makes someone question their sanity, their perception of reality, or their memories. They will actually make you question your own existence, gaslighting people. Okay. And narcissism starts from there. A person might start from gaslighting and slowly develop the other traits. Okay. People experiencing gaslighting often feel confused, anxious, and unable to trust themselves, of course. So just think of that poor wife. The husband purposefully dimmed the gas powered lights, but the wife could not understand why. Is there a problem in her vision, or is there a problem in her brain? The poor person started doubting herself, her credibility, she was not able to trust herself anymore. That is the power of gaslighters. That is exactly what they do. You know what is a gaslighter? You light up something, but you are lighting up the person for a wrong reason, not for the right reason. If you have any question, again I'm saying, please feel free to ask. Okay. Now, what are the aspects that a gaslighter would do, or a person who engage in a gaslighting behavior would do? Can you please give a simple example where one engages in gaslighting but not aware of it? Yes, I will. Just that is exactly what I'm going to say right now. So there is this National Domestic Violence Hotline, which we have not in India, in the US, and they indicate that a person experiencing gaslighting, they may. So what happens to you is, a person will keep on telling you things which will make you question your own existence, which will make you question your own experience. They will make you question your own feelings, own judgment. That is what a gaslighter would do. And what will you feel? You will feel confused. Constantly you will second guess, oh, maybe he's right, maybe I'm wrong. That is exactly what you will do. You'll find it difficult to make decisions, even simple ones. You frequently question if they are too sensitive. You will feel, maybe I'm being too sensitive, maybe I'm just becoming a crybaby, maybe other people are correct. That is exactly what you will do. Become withdrawn. You become unsociable. You become withdrawn. You constantly, instead of that person apologizing, you constantly apologize to that person. Yes, you're right, I'm sorry, things like this. You defend the abusive person's behavior. So let's say I see that somebody else is doing this, engaging in gaslighting behavior with you. I tell you that, Jayashri, this person is actually trying to make you question your own existence. Why are you indulging in that? You will start defending that person. You will not listen to me. That is how they play with your mind, gaslighters, and that is why it is called an abuse, a psychological abuse. Okay. uh, Lie to family and friends to avoid having to make excuses for them, and you feel hopeless, joyless, worthless, or incompetent. And that is how, from all this incompetence, that what exactly starts? Anxiety, and then slowly depression creeps in, right? So what are the different gaslighting techniques that you can watch out for? There are different, of course, there are people may resort to different techniques, but sometimes it can involve manipulating a person's environment behind their back, just like this, dimming the gas powered light. Other time the abuse is extremely or entirely verbal or emotional. It is not physical. That's why it is called psychological abuse and not a physical abuse. Okay, it is either verbal or it is emotional. They won't say anything, but they will do things like this that it will impact you emotionally. All right. Common techniques. Now I'm going to read out certain examples that I've already prepared so that I can just, we can save on time. So withholding, refusing to listen to any concerns or pretending not to understand them. For example, I don't have time to listen to this nonsense. You are not making any sense. This kind of statement they will say. Next is countering. They will say, I heard you say it. You never remember our conversations, right? They will question that. They are questioning your memory. Next is forgetting or denial. Pretending to they just forgot the events and all. What are you talking about? I never promised you that. So you can see these statements are very common in our daily relationships with people as well. We don't even know that we are engaging in this kind of behavior. We can just simply say, what are you talking about? मैंने कब बोला था? मुझे तो याद नहीं ये सब. And this is one aspect of gaslighting. We don't know, but we engage in that. That's why we are saying it is extremely rooted in the way we are talking. How we frame our sentences, what we say has a major impact on the person on the other hand. Next is blocking or diversion. Like, have you been talking to your sister again? She's always putting stupid ideas in your head. So just trying to control your actions, your decisions. Okay? Or trivializing. You're so sensitive. Everyone else thought my joke was funny. Why are you taking it so seriously? Understood? So this is how it happens. So let's say, not there is no everyone else, but that is how they are going to, what should I say? They are going to justify their actions and question your own judgment. So a gaslighter often uses the target's mistakes and overreactions to cast themselves as the victim, not the other person. For example, an abuser. Now this is something I'm sure a lot of you will find it very common. For example, an abuser may scream accusations at a person until the other party must raise their voice to be heard. The abuser may then cut the conversation short, claiming the other person is out of control and too aggressive. In some cases, the abuser may accuse the other person of being the true gaslighter. So, for example, you and I are arguing about something, and I'm constantly saying something, and you are just not able to say anything or put your point of view forward. So finally, what you have to do, you have to raise your voice and you have to say, can you please listen to me? And now I, being the gaslighter, I will tell you, see, you're so aggressive, you are always trying to dominate me. Yeah, you are the gaslighter, you are actually trying to you are creating havoc, or you are playing with my mind. This is exactly, they will turn the table towards you. This is how swift the gaslighters are. Okay, but as I said, narcissist people are extremely proficient in gaslighting. But not all gaslighters are narcissists. Some gaslighters are only doing this because they want to control you. They just want to have the upper hand on any relationship or upper hand on any situation. Narcissism is not about upper hand. Narcissism is controlling and self admiration, and only I, me, and myself, nobody else exists around me. As long as you adore me, okay, be my pet. If you don't adore me, you can go and take a walk. That is how their entire pro forma of relationship, of self-love is. And that's why it is called a disorder, because it is not normal. All right, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. I think I'm talking too much, and these things are so close to my heart. I have dealt with so many narcissists in my life that even if I'm not referring to it, I will probably would have spoken, but I just want to give you proper examples for you to be able to relate to the things that are happening in your life. Okay, now when I'm talking about narcissist personality disorder, there are certain four traits that have been actually jotted down or listed by DSM-5. Now DSM-5 is the American board who decides which are the disorders and which are not the disorders. Okay, I know, Nivedita, this resonates extremely well. So why it is called a disorder? Because it will cause significant impairment in their sense of self and interpersonal life, a personality dominated by one or more harmful traits. Impairments in personality, those are stable over time, which appear across many contexts. Impairments that are not better described by the person's environment, developmental stage, or substance abuse. So these, I can now understand that I have been in a relationship with a narcissist but did not even knew about this. Yes, it is, you would not understand until it's very late, because you will understand, oh, how cool that person loves themselves so much. Why don't I have this kind of a love for myself? But it is only very late that you understand the person was a narcissist and you were normal. Okay, so the broad categories of behavior would be the extreme success, power, or fame, constant need for admiration and affirmation, a strong sense of entitlement, envy of others, particularly their achievements, or beliefs that others should envy them. Okay, inflated sense of self-esteem, this is the right word, inflated sense of self-esteem. Megalomaniac, which we call them, megalomaniacal tendencies, believe that they are special or unique, just like Jadoo, setting unrealistic goals, exploitation of others, difficulty maintaining healthy relationships, lack of empathy or ability to take responsibility for behaviors, cannot tolerate criticism. Okay, so now the question is, and this is called the golden question: can a narcissist change? What do you think? Let me hear from you. So I know what is narcissist, what is gaslighting, what are the behavior, how do they speak, what they try to do, everything I know. But my final question is, if it's narcissist personality is a disorder, can this disorder, or can a person change somebody who is narcissist? Can it be worked upon? What do you think? No one thinks anything? I know one whom I'm sure will never change. I was waiting for this. I think they can, but not until they themselves want to. Both are correct. Yes, until they want to change, you cannot change them. And they are extremely difficult to change. In fact, any personality disorder is extremely difficult to treat because you don't have any medicines for that. Okay, personality disorder can only happen through introspection, and the second thing is therapy. These are the only two things for personality disorder. People with narcissist personality disorder are unlikely to seek any treatment, because the first step would be to realize the behavior, which they have to identify and acknowledge. Exactly. People with narcissist personality disorder are unlikely to seek any treatment and are often highly defensive about their narcissism. Even when they do seek treatment, they may struggle to recognize their traits, use therapy as a way to gain admiration, or blame others for their difficulties. Some people with NPD are manipulative and charming. They even try to charm their therapist and take the therapist into their confidence. They even try and do that. I have faced that, but that was a wrong person to do with. So no medicinal treatment. The therapies might work. CBT, that is cognitive behavior therapy, is something which work. You can only work on the thought processes only when the person acknowledges that there is problem in them. Otherwise, they are going to defend their narcissism, they're going to make you feel bad, or they are going to blame others. That's all they are going to do. So that's about narcissism and gaslighting. I hope I was able to give you enough details for you now to quickly understand or recognize somebody who is a narcissist and someone who is a gaslighter, or someone who is just portraying self-love. Okay, so usually the narcissists, are the people who will blame others for being narcissist. How you are such a narcissist, but they themselves are. They don't understand. Like they don't have the mirror in front of them. The mirror is always turned the other way. Okay, so that's pretty much about narcissism and gaslighting. Any question if you have? We have 4 more minutes left, and thankfully I could wrap up the entire thing within 30 minutes. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask. We have 4 more minutes. No questions? Anyone? They say that people have made me like this. Yeah. Talk to my hand. Tell them, Jai Shri. Talk to my hand. And how do you deal with narcissists, by the way? Do you argue with them? Because both of you, Nivedita and Jayashri, both of you have dealt with narcissists. How do you deal with them? Now that you know how narcissists are, do you argue with them? Do you try to prove your point to them? Because if you try to do, that's a waste of time. They're not going to listen to you. So it's best is not to waste your time out there. The moment argue, there is no point arguing with these people. There's just no point. You have to just cry, howl, shout. Yeah, you can do all of that, but they are still not going to change. They are going to stick to their point. They are going to stick to their narcissism. They are going to stick to their self-admiration, excessive self-admiration rather. So best to, no point of arguing. They just make us more miserable, so it's better to walk away. Now I walk out. Exactly, you just have to walk out. You cannot let go of your sanity because of this narcissist. Just give, I have dealt with narcissist in my life, personal life as well. So all I used to do after I understood that the person is a narcissist, silent treatment. I just don't say anything, and the person will realize the person was not a complete narcissist. Person was more of a gaslighter. Okay, I understood that. By that time I started giving silent treatment. I don't say anything. Initially I used to prove my point, but then it's a waste of time and energy. I would rather do something more productive than try to prove my point to a narcissist. So while you can work with depression, anxiety and everything, it is very difficult to work with narcissists unless they want you to work on them. Okay, so if you have a narcissist in your life, I wish you all the best. I just hope that they realize and they want to work on themselves. Otherwise, tough time lies ahead of you. Okay? So, Thank you so much, all three of you who have been constantly watching, and those who came and who went, and those who are going to watch it later. I hope this session was fruitful for you. Okay, so catch me live again on Instagram on Wednesday. Another requested topic, which is work-life balance. So till then, take care of yourself and stay away from narcissists.